I see the freeloading Canadians in the comments. Mwah! Good evening, Matt Panetta. Um, Before I get started, I want to address something with you, the crowd, the audience. I'm not going to say fans, because really, you're not fans. You're just people that watch the show. Um, Effective today, effective immediately, ORM belts will not be featured on Get the Strapped as one of our makers. The reason is because I am actually, and I think we all are, sick and tired of um, explaining things to the simplest of forms here, and it still gets warped into something completely different. Myself, Ethan, I think Joey, a few people have been hit up by people, just Omi fanboys, because that's what they are. And they say, well, you always talk all this stuff about Omi's time frames, but Classic Shields has long time frames. Let me put this as simple as possible here, and then we'll move on from ORM. Okay. Um, Here is just the fundamental difference between ORM belts and Classic Shields. Typically, I don't give a shit about time frames. Classic Shields could tell you that. Hell, ORM himself can tell you that. Talk to Muhammad Nawaz right now, who has my V4 IWGP. He's working on it right now. I don't hit anybody up for updates. I couldn't give a shit. I know you're gonna get my belt done. It's gonna come to me. Whatever. Just take your time. Do what you got to do. Here's the fundamental difference. ORM will tell you, bro, 3 weeks, I'll give you this belt. 3 weeks, you got it, bro. Oh shit. Here's your, back then, because prices have gone up on those standard belts. Back then it was $650. Here's your money. Send me my belts and my tracking in 3 weeks. Me personally, this isn't secondhand that I'm getting from someone else. This is me personally. I was told 3 weeks for a block Big Eagle. And well, no, initially it was a NWA United States Luger. I was told 3 weeks that I was going to get that belt. And a year later, I was like, Omi, you're not doing anything with this, man. This was like a 3-week thing. What do you have that you can give to me ASAP? Well, I got a Big Eagle. Okay, then give me the damn Big Eagle, because I just can't keep waiting. That's the difference. Classic Shields will tell you, listen, motherfucker, you're in for a wait. At times, they don't even give you a time frame. They say they're the only makers, I think, that you reach out to them. They're like, you're bothering them. They're like, yeah, you will fucking take it down, sure. Winged Eagle, extra flock, yada, yada, yada. Okay, fine. That's the fundamental difference. That's the problem. Classic Shields either tells you up front, or you know that this shit is going to take a while, right? But like me, I did not get a time frame from them, but they did say, listen, this is going to take a while. We have a lot of people that want belts. It's just going to take some time. I said, hey, I'm not in a rush. You do what you got to do. They didn't say 3 weeks, pay right now, and I'll send you your tracking. ORM did. But when you bring that up to the fanboys, they don't like hearing that. Everyone has issues with time frames. Classic Shields is atrocious with time frames because, well, they have a lot of customers, right? ORM, I could imagine he has a lot of customers. The problem is in the honesty. If you tell me, hey, listen, it's going to be 2 years, a year, hey, man, do what you got to do, bro. I get it. But don't tell me 3 weeks. And then when people point that out, you become a child and you get angry. And then you get this icon guy. This fucking guy needs, I am going to send him just a hooker one of these days or something, because he just needs to be taken care of. I think if someone took care of him, drained him, and then made him a good cooked meal, he'll be fine, right? Because this guy we haven't even been talking anything about them, and this guy's just randomly talking shit about our entire group, and we're like, what? Wasn't this thing over like 3 months ago? So effective immediately, ORM belts will not be featured on here. You eventually, I think you will get tired of it. You'll see the bullshit and you'll go, I don't want to do business with them. And that's going to move on from there. The next thing that's going to happen here on the show is that we are no longer going to be trying to encourage you about things. I'm tired of saving. Me, Ethan Thompson, Joe Vitanza. I don't know about Casey because he does his figs. James, other people that I know have learned the hard way that charlatans lie so that you can send them that PayPal or that Cash App or whatever the fuck it is that you use these days to get that money from you. And then when you receive your product, it's shit. For the past year, 2 years, we have been showing you the type of belts not to get. And in doing so, for some reason, we've gotten a lot of hate about it. So from now on, if you want to buy your belt, and we've said this before numerous times, and I have to say it again, over and over again, because again, the things we say on here, for some reason, people don't come back to this, the actual footage. There's actual footage here. People don't come back to the footage to see if it's true or not. We're telling you, we have never said you shouldn't buy from this maker. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't. It's your money. If that's what you want to do, you spend it. It's your money. But the issue is we get a lot of messages. We get a lot of DMs. Hey, I bought this belt and it sucks. Well, yeah. I mean, that you paid $275. What do you expect? If it's not shop, you really aren't going to get a beautiful fucking belt that's going to blow your mind away. Let's just be realistic here. No one on this screen from my side, from my people, Culture Shock, my friends, no one has a vested interest in you purchasing classic shields. I'm sure your middlemen who bitch and moan about us can't say the same. So we will be showing belts that we here would be comfortable purchasing, whether it be one of us, two of us, or all of us. That's all we're going to show because we tried and you got angry about it for some reason. And I have zero interest in saving anything or trying to save people's money. How am I going to be working more or being mad about your money? Well, I'm more mad than you are when you lose money. That's not okay. Get mad when people don't deliver what they tell you they're going to deliver. So we're no longer going to do that bullshit. And one more thing I do want to address. I was minding my business. This hobby is amazing. I was minding my business on TikTok, and I do a lot of stuff on TikTok and just try to have fun with things and my friends here as well. And someone went on there from the hobby and was talking shit about my TikToks. And I know who it is. I have a big idea of who it is. And it's fine. I'll be at SummerSlam. But there is one thing I will say to who this person is. You are very, very big on talking, on being a Monday morning quarterback. But there is a fundamental difference between you and me. My friends, the people who watch this show, know that I've never been a big fan of myself. Ever. I've never been cocky. I have never been indifferent. I've never been a dick about things. I've always been reasonable. But here's some truth in putting myself in the danger zone of trying to sound like a dick. Here's the fundamental difference between you and me. When I put my content out there, whether it be on TikTok, I don't use Twitter, YouTube, this very show, I am putting my work, who I am, and the things I enjoy out there for the world to critique. People may hate him, but Carmine Sabia does the same. People may think he's a drama queen, but Michael Holenchek does the same. People may like Ethan or Joey because they say they're bullies, but they do the same thing. Vinny Vegas, Michael Jones. Everyone who has a podcast comes on here and presents to the world because they have the balls enough to say, this is who I am, judge me as you will. You have never and will never do that. Because at the end of the day, you will always be a keyboard warrior who always tries to stir shit. So we're not going to give you any attention. We're not going to go into it the whole app. No, I'm just doing because I said I will not allow anyone to run my name through the mud ever again. So remember when you're sitting there talking shit and trying to troll my social medias, I don't know why you're doing that, but understand that when you do that, you're just enforcing what you will always be. And that is a J Cross fanboy who's super mad, super butthurt that he could never do it quite like Bebe. And that, my friends, is undisputed. And if you have a problem with me, let's check on SummerSlam, Bebe. Welcome to Get the Strap. My name is J Cross, and tonight we have a fantastic show. We have one of the most, I think, magnificent individuals that I have encountered in this hobby. I used to watch his YouTube channels all the time, still do. A lot of my collection, when I collected figs, he was actually the main driver. Every time I would see him get a belt, I would go, fuck, I want that belt. And tonight's belt, I did not know figs actually made. Never saw it in my years of trying to put in carts like 10, 15 belts that I was going to save up from Wrestling Superstore and buy all together. I never saw it. Never understood it. Never realized that this was a belt that was actually available. So it is with my pleasure to bring on to you just a YouTube phenomenon, such a really great guy, down to earth, Casey, James, Rush, Bridges, Bebe. Welcome to the show. How are you?
What is going on, J Cross? It's KO Fan 93 here for the first time on Get the Strap and Pounding the Meat. Thank you so much for having me.
My friend, welcome aboard. And before we started this show, I said to the guys, there is so much money behind you. And I know that out of experience. You see, a lot of the times people say, figs are trash, figs are this, figs are that. And I learned from you that there's value in them, right? There is a lot of value in having a Figures Inc., especially the rare ones with the scratch logo, right? It's true. Not something that you can easily go online and just purchase. You simply can't. Now, I want to start this interview just by going just straight to it with you. How did you get to this point of lining those belts? Because before, I remember you had the plastic shelves where you had the belts on. Like, tell me how'd you get to this point in time as a collector?
So, fun fact about switching from the shelves to hanging them on the wall, that was actually a Rob Staniloff inspiration right there. So big thanks to Rob and everything they did for the hobby, as well as Sari, Mrs. Head of the Table. Thank you guys for the inspiration and everything y'all did. Just had to shout that out right there. But no, man, 20 years of collecting just about. We're in year 19 right now. We'll be 20 years next year.
Wow.
Long time. I've had so many belts come and go. Almost every single Figs Inc. that you can imagine. And I've downsized. I counted them up. I think I have 25 Figs Inc. belts right now. And that is going to be growing, so keep your eyes out on my channel because there will be an unboxing very soon. So look forward to that. But yeah, man, it's just been a lot of hard work and saving money, and just you got to find people who know people that know where to get stuff.
I was so shocked, Casey, at when I started to sell these belts, right? I got, because this hobby tends to be very negative and I got to the point, a lot of the guys in the back got to the point we just didn't want to, deal with it anymore. I was just completely done. And I started to sell my belts, right? And when I put one of those belts up for $600, and I remember it was Joe Vitanza who said to me, you got to put it up for more money. Because I was like, you know what? I'll put it up for $350. We're going to be good, right? And Joe was like, no, you got to put that up for more. And I put it up for $600 on eBay. And you guys know those eBay fees kill. But as soon as I put it up, it went like that. It was gone in 10 minutes. And it was just amazing to see how I could sell one of these belts, one of these figs, for so much money. And then this other maker that I was promised that I was going to get, great, quality from, I couldn't even sell it for the price I sold it for, right? I had to cut down. So let me ask you just one thing to clear things up. And like Nick Carnival is in the comments and he's always joking around about the CS thing with us, and CS has their issues. And I've asked Matt Panetta, why he buys what he buys. The same thing to John Bodoy. And I'm gonna ask you, Figures Incorporated. Why do you go with Figures Inc?
So there's actually quite a few reasons why I tend to stick to Figs Inc. Because I do own some shop belts, but I mean it's like a 9-to-1 ratio, Figs to shop. So starting back at the beginning, when I first started collecting the adult size belts, because I mean most of us have the kid size belts at some point, but
yeah,
get into the adult size belts. My good friend 1990 Hardy One, go check him out on YouTube. He is the one that pretty much introduced me to the entire Figs catalog going all the way back. Like I had been seeing him in the magazines, I had seen him on WWE Shop, but I didn't know about the actual catalogs, and he got me looking through those at his house one day, and holy crap, it was just like it started this, I guess, ripple effect. So nowadays, whenever I see a Figs Inc. belt up for sale and I buy it, get it in the mail, whenever I pull it out, like you guys see my videos, I always show it to you guys first, every single time. And with that, every time I flip it over and see that Figs Inc. for the first time, out of the box, it brings back that same feeling I got all those years ago. Every single time.
Nostalgia overload, right?
Right. Figs Inc. is a nostalgia overload thing for me. Now, while I do stick to Figs Inc., I do own shop, like I mentioned. That's more of just an officially licensed thing. I know you guys have your ways. I have my ways. Agree to disagree. I don't judge at all. I just prefer the official things, and I think that's just a little bit of paranoia with all the elitists, as we might want to call them, that are going to send the federales knocking at your door for trying to buy something over Facebook.
Yeah, someone in California is not going to have a good time when they get a certain someone very angry about that stuff. So you touched on that subject that I was going to ask you next about the bootlegging. What's your official stand on it when it comes to bootlegging?
So my official stance, pretty much, I don't care what anybody does. You do you make yourself happy. I'm going to stick to Figs Inc. And I'm not going to tell you not to buy boots, but if I can at least sway you to go to that official product to keep you from buying one of those just cheap-ass, poor quality, $125 winged eagles that are made with like tinfoil off of eBay, I'm going to do it every single time. That's actually why we started our Facebook group, which we'll go into that later, is to try to help educate and keep those kind of things from happening. Because I've seen so many YouTube reviews of people buying those cookie cutter belts and getting them, and they're just like, oh, well, I'm glad I only paid $100 for it. I'm like, shit, I wouldn't have even paid $1 for that piece of shit. But you get the picture.
Yeah, no, and let's touch on that group subject. You are an administrator of an anti-bootleg group, right? There's no bootlegs being shown on Belt Addicts Anonymous, which is, I think, one of the great groups, because there are a lot of groups that say there's no drama, there's no stuff here, and it still happens, right? When Eddie Williams was made an admin of Belt Addicts Anonymous, he tried to kick people out, and Rob and you guys were like, well, we're not fucking doing that shit. We are not doing that whatsoever. And it was something that attracted me to it, because it was like, okay, these guys are actually living up to the stuff that they're saying. Do you want to make an announcement regarding the Prime show on that group, the Over the Shoulder podcast? Would you like to tell the people some new information about that?
Yes. So if you did catch the most recent episode where they ranked the current world titles, you find out Rob Staniloff is stepping away from the show. Yours truly will be filling those shoes for the foreseeable future moving forward. Really, really excited.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really looking forward to it. We're gonna do some big things and get some new content out there, and just keep these views rolling in and keep educating everybody that's coming into this hobby, because we get newcomers in here every day, and that's what we want to do with our podcast, is educate the absolute hell out of everybody so they know what they're doing, they know what to look for, and they don't ever get screwed over. And most importantly, we kind of want to be like an encyclopedia for people to go back to for that reference.
Yeah.
Because one of our elitists that we've mentioned before has always said, just do your research, just do your research. And that's probably the only good thing he's ever said.
The do your research, to do your research, to do your research. But then here's the issue I have with the do your research thing, that you go and I'm more than happy to name it because this isn't on Dan, right? Give you an example, Bell Talk, right? People say do your research, do your research. People go on there, they ask a question, they get dogged down as to why they're asking such a stupid question.
Yes.
And you're like, well, what the fuck, man? I can't win. There is no if and or buts. I can't win.
So that is the prime reason. That is the main reason that we wanted to start Belt Addicts Anonymous and do it the way that we did. Because in 2014, when I first discovered the Facebook belt groups, guess what the first one was that I discovered?
Please tell me.
So I'm not going to drop the name.
No, I know. Go ahead. Go. I know exactly. Yes.
No, because I have no hate on the man himself. I just wish that things were handled differently. But I went in there and I didn't know what a fucking bootleg belt was. I didn't even know there was such a thing because all I'd ever seen was replicas. Well, I shared a picture of a block logo European and I was like, hey, where could I find one of these? And it was just like instant. Oh, you're an idiot. Oh, do your research, you uneducated prick. Oh, he's from Oklahoma.
Oh my God.
Don't talk about Oklahoma, number one. But yeah, I just got ripped apart my first day in the community. And I don't want anybody to have to go through that because at this point, I'd like to say I'm a very educated member of this community. And I will do everything in my power to make sure people aren't in my shoes from back then because, to be honest, the way the world's changing, you got to be more accepting. You got to be more tolerant. Why not help everybody out instead of just being a dick for your own ego?
If someone has a question, the instant classic, and that would be Mr. David Babel, which I am hoping he agrees to come on the season finale of this show and do a musical performance. He wants to know your thoughts on those who prefer boots over figs, the pros and the cons.
I don't have any judgment. I know several people that prefer boots over figs. Some of the people I'm very close to in the hobby. I've got people that are directly involved with makers. And you know what? I could care less because just because it's my cup of tea doesn't mean that. Why the hell would that affect me at all?
Correct.
Somebody's making themselves happy. People could sit here and talk trash about these being 2mm toys. You know what? They might be, but guess what? They were the official ads from back in the magazine days and all that crap. So I love it. Why would I care if nobody else does? And
let me tell you something, Casey, that resale value is absolutely no joke. As someone who has sold most of his figs, I've got a lot of money back from that I did not know. And again, Joe Batonza, thank you so much. But it just...
Fortunately, I don't think these can be sold because all these Attitude Era belts are signed and personalized to myself.
So you're gonna keep them forever.
That's why I did it.
Not good. No, and I was in that area. These guys, I did not want to sell any belt. I was never gonna sell any belt. I had a hope, and then when this shit just started getting crazy, I was like, man, this is not for me, man. Yep. Like, I got a wife, a kid, I get pussy every night. What am I doing? Right? Priorities, man. So it just, I had to get rid of them. Before we go any further, I want to ask, because I need to know this. What is your favorite belt in your collection?
You really have to ask that question at this point?
Yes, I did. Yes.
It's right behind me.
Which one? The light heavyweight. Do you have the belt bag for that?
I do.
Nice.
Man, we've got it signed by X-Pac.
And I'm going to put you full screen so that you can just...
Now we got Jeff Hardy right there.
That is beautiful.
And this thing is mint. This is my favorite. Damn, I can't
remember. No scratches on it. It still even has the sticker. My God.
Stickers, stones, all of it. Official Figs Inc. property plate installed, everything.
Very, very nice. Now, to take from Ethan Thompson, he won when we did our promo or preview for season 2. One of the clips I got from him was that he learned through trial and error and getting yelled at by his wife, but it was, buy it right the first time. Don't buy a shitty belt. Don't talk, don't spend money on things that are not going to last. Just spend the money. Spend the money and just buy what you want. We learned through trial and error, whether it be, I'll give you an example, the worst error I made when buying a belt off of eBay. It was 2013. I was a very young 23-year-old man, no back pain, good knees. I went on eBay and I bought a cruiserweight championship, the Ruthless Aggression. You know how rare that is these days.
Yes.
Even back then, it was still rare. And I ordered it, and when it came in, it was a kid size.
Ooh.
You thought I would have learned my lesson, my friend, but I hell did not. So I really wanted an undisputed V2, and that was during the time WWE only had the V1 on the shop.
Right.
I thought I was ordering a V2, a big V2, because the way they took the pictures, and it came in a little box.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what am I doing wrong here? So I learned through, like, to quote Ethan Thompson, trials and tribulation, and getting yelled at by Mrs. Cross, buy shit the right way the first time. Tell me, as a Figures Inc. guy, where should people go and where should they stay away from?
So, I mean, it's kind of the same. Going to eBay and also staying away from eBay, because it's one of those things where you don't need to go there unless you're 100% sure you know what you're doing. You've got to use your filters. You need to go in there. If you're in the United States or Canada even, make sure you set your location to the U.S. because, I mean, you're still going to get bootlegs in your results, but you're going to filter them out better.
You definitely will. That's when that was the thing, Casey. I used to be able, like, probably I would say 2016, I would be able to filter out the overseas bootleggers because you would, you fuck with the location, and that was it. But now I've noticed there's Omi and ORM Belts is actually based out of New York City in his eBay profile, right? So it's very, you have to know what to do or not, because if not, you'll end up losing money like I did, right? And Matt Panetta's asking, are all your figs in mint condition?
Not every single one of them. It's not very easy to find some of these older ones in great shape. Like, for example, my Smoking Skull, which is on camera right now, but the strap has seen better days.
It is. Yeah.
Got some bubbles. The plates are mint. The only one I would say that's absolute trash condition is probably my Niagara Falls kids belt.
You have a Niagara Falls?
I do.
Can you please show that on camera? Because I think a lot of people don't know what it is.
Yes.
You know the backstory of it, right?
Of course I do.
All right. I'm going to put you full screen. Please tell the people what the background to that is.
So just like you were talking about kid size, that's what you've got here. A kid size, but this was the biggest size it was made in. You could only get these at the Niagara Falls retail shop in Niagara Falls, New York. I think it was New York. It might have been the Ontario side of things. I don't know. I never went. But as you can see, just an undisputed kid size V1 plate. No black border around the main plate or anything like that. Niagara Falls in the place of the World Wrestling Entertainment banner. Got the maple leaf for all of our friends north of the border there.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing special other than that. It's just a little kid-sized belt that's got these really weird, like, jean snaps, but nothing on the back. But these are really, really hard to find, and you can find one,
it's
get it.
Spaced out weird and everything. It's just, it's not even like done like the regular kid size Undisputed.
And it makes me feel like the Big Show.
When he won that, it was hilarious. Every time he won a belt, when he won the U.S. Championship, I just thought, I was like, that does not look right on him, man. They need to make it like just a bigger belt for him. In your collection, because I scoured eBay a lot, right? I had all sorts of keywords fucking saved on my eBay account. Championship wrestling belts, wrestling championship belts, championship replica belts, WWF championship. I had all those saved, and then I would go in there every day in the morning and at night. This shit was a mission, man. And I was looking for all these damn belts. What's the rarest belt that you've gotten in your collection?
Currently, it's probably a toss-up because I've got so many that are rare. It depends on how you look at it. Some would say I have a deluxe edition WWE Big Eagle with the WrestleMania 20 plate. I have a deluxe Ruthless Aggression SmackDown tag with a COA number 1 of 500. My light heavyweight, obviously very, very rare. But if I had to pick one, I would probably say my V2 Scratch Big Logo Figs Inc.
Very, very nice. And Nick Carnival here is is right on point with the UFC V3. I can't talk on Nick. I can't talk on the Ring of Honor world because I never held it. Those who have held it, like you, have told me that it's fantastic. But I definitely will put the UFC V3 up there as one of the best belts made by Figures Inc. What do you think, Casey, is the best belt that Figures Inc. has ever made?
Hands down, best Figs Inc. belt would be the Andre 87.
Magnificent.
That V2 big logo is a close second, but the Andre was just way ahead of its time. And when you see what they did with that, why couldn't they have kept that going through the end? Maybe we'd still have Figs Inc. producing belts today, but got to be the Andre.
It's the one belt I could never get. I could never get that belt, and I've seen it. So for people. Jazz. But I held it once because she's the rare occasion where she let me touch them. That thing is huge. It is a big belt. It is heavy. Yes. And if you keep it crisp, it's gonna last you a very long time with no problem. Because a lot of people don't clean their belts. I've noticed that a lot of people don't take their time to clean their belts.
Yeah, good example of that. If you've seen my latest unboxing video where I got the V1 big logo from Figs. Holy crap. It's like the guy never dusted it off from 2013 to now. I was on a video call with Jamie Gilbert, and I was taking the plates off to clean everything, and it was just this perfect white silhouette of every plate on that strap. Just dust.
My God. And Nick Carnaval, the V2 big logo scratch. I got that belt for $150 on eBay one time, and I resold it. I've resold it for $600. It was amazing. It was a really good day. And it was an amazing, and I was just so shocked. That's because a lot of people, I think we lose the connection here. A lot of people don't understand that you, me, the guys backstage, the people in the hobby, we're the ones that care about the intricate details. A lot of people don't give a shit. They see it. Oh shit, it's one of those championship belts on TV. Right. Yep. And speaking of just like the hobby and everything that goes on in it, there's other stuff outside of it, right? And we want to tell people in the hobby, yes, there is a hobby here, enjoy it, great, but don't put yourself all the way in it because you'll fucking lose your goddamn mind.
Yeah,
you, as everyone else here, you have a life outside of the wrestling belt community.
Yes.
So please tell me about your other venture that you should be very proud of. Well, tell the people.
So most people may or may not know I am a recording artist. Just had an album drop on Spotify and Apple Music called Out of My Mind. Go check it out. It's probably the best work I think I could have ever imagined myself doing. I'm very, very proud of the progress it's making, all the downloads. Very appreciative of everybody that has downloaded it. Keep it coming. Hoping to get out there on the road, get those tour dates. I've got a couple already lined up for next year. Got rehearsal going on right now. And several great singles already been pulled off of this from my distributor already, like Out of My Mind, Strange Expressions. These are things that I really hope everybody likes because I want to get out there on the road, deliver these songs to them and get a message besides just the belts because music is my passion.
So what inspired you to do this album?
Lots of things. I've been wanting to pursue a career in music my entire life ever since I was probably about 3 years old. And you can thank Steven Tyler from Aerosmith for that. For some odd reason, I really liked Aerosmith when I was younger.
Hey, Aerosmith is the shit to this day. They are.
And I mean, I definitely did dream on. And here I am today. And now I can thank people like huge shout out to Mike Prodich and the guys over at The Violent, Nick Reese and Joyce Wolf, Plush, Jack White, The White Stripes, all those guys, just amazing songwriters that inspired me to actually start recording my music and try to give Oklahoma a little bit more of a better idea of something to be proud of than just the Oklahoma Sooners.
the way you say that. So what's gonna obviously the audience knows what happens now is that you go back, backstage and you'll come back in overtime. But before we go, I'm not gonna play the whole song just in case we get hit, but I'm gonna play probably a minute of your song Out of My Mind, if that's okay with you. All right?
Absolutely.
So I mean, thank you so much for this. I mean, when you told me that hey, could you, I asked you, would you allow us to, play your song on here? You said, you the fuck yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do, And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate you being on here, and I'm gonna just play this song so that everybody can see it. And I'll take you and me off screen so that people can enjoy for a bit. All right, here we go.
Thank you. Hope everybody enjoys.
So I was just informed by my esteemed colleagues backstage that the music is not coming through. We don't know why. So we're gonna make sure that gets straightened out by the end of the show. We're gonna give you the link also to Out of My Mind, which I actually played the song like 8 times before the show. It's actually a really good song. So before we go, we're gonna actually play it for you guys, but I have no idea why it's not playing. But thank you again for Casey for coming on and sharing his music. We're going to put it up for him. I'll make sure to share him far and wide. We want to make sure that we support each other and make sure that we all grow together, right? That's the whole point of this. Before we go on, I want to say it was supposed to be this month in wrestling with Mike Jones. Mike Jones tends to be a very angry young man, and he is refusing to come on because he feels like the whole world is just laughing at Vince McMahon, which we're not laughing at him. I think we're laughing with him because the fact that Vince McMahon is trolling the world with all the stuff that's going on is amazing. So Mike Jones is not going to be on. He refuses to be on. He says he's not going to be on until people take any of this seriously. And I don't think he's going to be on for a while because this whole Vince coming in saying welcome to Raw, welcome to SmackDown is one of the most hilarious things in the world. So first, I'm going to bring on the man that will be with me at the 2022 SummerSlam, and he will keep his mouth shut about whatever happens there. Mr. James Taylor. Hi.
What's up, baby? How you doing? How you doing?
I have a question for you that I meant to ask you and I never did.
Okay.
In all seriousness, why is the belt back on the wall?
Oh, I just threw it up there. That's it.
You just said, "Fuck it, I am not."
It was too white. It was too white for me. So like, I'm just like, I gotta have something there, and it's like that's my shoe wall. So like, all my shoes are in there. So I just had to throw something there.
Jimmy, you do know I have like a bag. I honestly have a big, one of those big taupe plastic container things filled, to the rim with freaking belt bags. I've sold belts that don't even come with the belt bags, and I think those belt bags are downstairs. So I apologize.
I believe
if I sold you a belt, give me a hug, and I'll freaking send it to you. But my wife finally brought it up from the basement, so I'll sell them. I don't like going down to the. Do you have a basement, James?
I do, but I can't use my basement. So
so basements suck. Basements suck.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why they suck.
I like basements.
No, because once something goes down there, you ain't never gonna see that shit again. I had a hardcore championship, a WWF hardcore championship. Honestly, between us here as friends, I didn't see that shit for 3 years. I didn't even know that shit existed.
Just send it to me. You don't need to know it exists now.
Bro, listen, Casey has his up on the wall, all proud and stuff. I bought it. I was like, I'm just gonna buy it to resell it because a lot of people are shooting for this, and I forgot that the thing existed because it was in the fucking basement.
Oh my God.
Those are the things about life. And now I'm gonna bring on the biggest bully in the world, Mr. Joseph Vatanza. Hi. How you doing?
Hello.
How's your Friday? You're on vacation.
2 weeks, baby.
That's right.
And I was hanging out with this, guy the other day.
Did he eat his vegetables with his wings?
No, we had burgers. But we were at the bar for a good. We were at the bar for a good 7 hours. Started at 4:30.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
we had fun.
All right.
Who paid for the bill?
We had fun.
Who paid for the bill?
Joe paid this time.
Joe paid for the first time ever.
Oh,
Joe paid.
God.
No, I did not.
Oh,
No,
my
I paid.
God.
I paid before.
He's paid twice now on out of all of our like 18 dates. So, I'm feeling pretty special. I felt real special. Like he was kind of like, he made me feel special for sure. So I don't want to go into too many details. We're on it's a family show. So
yeah.
And then I am going to also bring out the man who's probably going to have a warrant out for his arrest in the next couple of days in the great state of California, Mr. Ethan. You do get yourself into a lot of shit.
How? Let's elaborate. Let's humor me by not being truthful.
By not being truthful.
What have I said that is not truthful? That's got me into trouble. If I'm speaking the truth, I don't give two shits if you don't like me.
So,
because there's nobody on this planet's going to say to me that I haven't said to myself. So I don't trip on nobody.
Let me ask you a question.
The vodka's hitting him hard, so.
No, he's doing okay.
I'm doing good right now. I got
the Ethan.
Oh, you got the monster. There you go.
I want you to tell me, because I love you, but you're obsessed with wrestling belts.
I'm an acquired taste. Yeah.
You're obsessed with wrestling belts. That's number one. You know that you are, so don't bullshit me that I'm talking shit.
No, I said agreed.
You know that you are.
Agreed.
So tell me, without us risking, getting in trouble with it, tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache. Oh, sorry.
Tell me why. Oh, sorry.
Ain't nothing but a
Nick Carnival,
mistake.
I'm sorry. I have to ask this because he's the elitist piece of shit of the group.
Nick, I literally was DMing Nick. Me and Nick have been talking for the last 20 minutes, bro.
So X-Men. Hold on. I am going to ask you this question, and I want you to be honest when you're answering it. We're friends, so you need to do it. I know we're going to run through this list. CS isn't there. Why are you going to decline every single one of these belts and then fucking go with CS?
I don't know who's on the list. I know Orm's not.
Orm, but no. I honestly, do you think that when we get to the very end of this fucking show,
do you have Nawaz on the list?
I do, King. Why?
That's a Nawaz SD belt
that you will get because
that's one right behind my head. No, it's important to me, but Nawaz is the best. Belt. Yes, and I'm gonna say this right now, so it's clear, like you did when you look in the camera and it's all just like it's full of piss and vinegar, and you just like you get people's nipples hard. I'm gonna say this right now. Nawaz makes the best SD plates you get on the market for the price. $300 for the plates. The best. There's no question.
Can I ask a question, bro?
X-Men. Yes.
Why do you keep saying that?
I'll fill you in afterwards.
No, I'm so confused now. Okay.
All right. You understand.
Okay. You fine. Whatever. Listen. WCW Tag Team Championship. Ethan, favorite tag team who held it?
Steiners.
Really?
This belt came along right at the time when I was really discovering wrestling, and then I didn't have the territories or anything like that, so it was WCW and WWF, and the Steiners were one of those teams that just stuck out in my mind because they were fun. They had energy. They were fun. You get the other.
Me that Chico and Quad Kev weren't fun.
Yes, they were fun, but not as fun as the Steiners. I mean, you got other teams that you could. throw out there that you always forget. Like I always forget about Harlem Heat. Personally,
yes, and Mike Jones will make it an issue if you do forget about Harlem Heat. So be careful, please.
Bro, he sent me anthrax in the mail.
Who did?
Dude, Mike gets aggressive, man.
Jones, he got real aggressive, bro.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
He's the aggressive one here.
So, Joey, favorite tag team who held the WCW Reggie Parks edition?
Easy, the Hollywood Blondes.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? I like the fact that they carried the storyline over to World Wrestling Federation. That's just a me thing. James Taylor, tell me, baby.
I mean, like, so I'm an Outsiders guy. So, like, when I seen the Outsiders with those belts, you know what I mean? Just going down the aisle.
Going down the aisle, being a slut. Oh.
Yeah, like, it was just, hey, it was the Outsiders just being the Outsiders, bro.
Yeah.
So,
and
I
always appreciated the Outsiders, bro. And you and me are on there because that was a fantastic storyline. And then they had the championship.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I have a treat for the audience later from our good friend Dan McMahon. So, you know,
but I will say, second, tied though. Like you guys brought up the Harlem Heat. I love the Harlem Heat. There's a lot of great lineage when it comes to just holding this title, especially this particular one.
We're spoiled.
So, dude, I mean, you got some of the best tag teams in WCW. Like, we could say, like, our best, but then you're going to think back, like, oh, man, but there was this match with the Steiners. There was this match with Harlem Heat. And, like, the Outsiders were the cool factor. So I think that's why I kind of like them. But
didn't Luger and Sting hold this belt, too?
See, you're going to start with your shit. You're going to start with your shit. Don't do that.
No, I swear to God, it's not starting. But
it's Friday. Cut your shit. It's
bro,
Friday,
in the era, I won't be at SummerSlam, so shut up. In the era of these belts, Luger and Sting, dude, some people just fit belts and they fit a time. Steiners fit these belts. Luger and Sting fit these belts.
I think Luger. Sure, no, Jay, I'm sorry, but I think Luger is the only one that held the WCW TV. U.S.
No one gives a shit about Lex Luger, bro.
91 to 94, tag, and the big gold. Chrome Ryan.
All right, we're going to move on from this shit. Listen.
Wow.
Figures Incorporated.
Oh.
Oof.
Now, so here's the thing. Casey's belts are fucking on point, right? He
Sorry,
said
Casey.
You know, some of his belts, are not in mint condition. Mine wasn't. You know how much I sold this damn belt for? $700. There's scratches on this fucking. I literally lost my mind when I sold it for that much. And you know what? Which people are gonna get mad at me when I say this, but it had a Buff Bagwell signature on the back that you'll see later, and I thought it devalued the fucking belt. But I digress. The belt still sold for that much money, and I thought it was great. Ethan, go ahead and do your thing and rip it apart. Go.
Again, what was the first thing I said to Casey backstage? Never met the guy before, just till then.
And he's such a sweet guy, too.
He's such a sweet guy, 100%. I wish I could have heard his song. Jay messed that up. But
I didn't. Not playing. But go ahead.
You know who wouldn't have messed that up? Lex Luger.
Lex Luger wouldn't have messed that up. Lex wouldn't have messed that up.
But it's just, I told him, Big Zink's belts, unless they're 4mm, I just can't do anything with them. 2mm trash, but again, I came in late in an era of collecting belts where I'm spoiled.
So that's true, though. You came in late in the game, right? It wasn't like Figures Inc. was the only thing out and about for you to collect. So there is the elitist in you coming out there.
Agreed.
Joseph, talk to me.
It's not bad, but the plates are as flat as Miss Elizabeth's body right now. But, I mean... I'm sorry.
Oh,
I took a few things.
Kick 'em.
I took a few things. So I'm fine. But I mean, Figs Inc. for
Joseph, stop.
It's not bad for a Figs.
Joseph, apologize.
To who?
Apologize right now.
Joe, you better say sorry.
Say you're fucking sorry.
I'm sorry.
You tell me not to say certain things. You better say sorry right now.
So, listen,
Killer boots, man.
It was banged up.
Man.
It was banged up when I got it. But do you guys remember when belts were this cheap? 204. There was this wrestling website called.
Yeah.
Casey may remember it. I vaguely remember it. ReplicaWrestlingBelts.com. You look at, he's losing his fucking mind. He's literally losing his shit. ReplicaWrestlingBelts.com. I remember a World Heavyweight Championship would cost you $225.
So,
Ethan, $249 because you know it's flat.
again,
it's
coming
2
late into the
millimeters.
game, $249. I was paying for Usman. Again, so late in the game.
That's belt, bro.
It's
That's belt, bro.
It sucks. Like I wish I was collecting in 2000 where I could be like some of these dudes that bought a Reggie or a Dave for like $800 and they post every day flexing that they used to have these belts.
What?
They don't have them anymore, but they still flex. Saying.
So, Jesus, Joey.
Yes.
$249. You had the WCW US.
I still do.
You still have it. Would you think it's on par, or do you think no? Would you pay $249 for it? Not. And listen, I want to be very clear with this. Fuck JB Toys, Nico. We've taught you better.
Now is this a legit fix? $249?
It is a fix, a two. That's the initial price. That's the price they were selling.
I'd pay
for.
that all day. Why not?
Inflation is such a bitch.
My US was a little cheaper than that when I bought it brand new.
$225.
$225.
$225. Jimmy, you're not
Yes.
late in the game. No, are you late? I think you
No.
are late in the game, aren't? No, you've been doing it for a while too, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I really started like collect. Like first off, my first like real belt purchase was like I used to make my own wrestling belts as a kid. I had like a replica as a kid, the little stuff like that. But and then I've been kind of like watching along the way, but I really didn't start like collecting until probably the past couple of years. It's been like when I met you guys. So that's when I really got into it. My first wrestling belt, like my first like adult purchase, was a network logo, and it was a drunk purchase. So that tells you everything you need to know.
I'm fixing
and
to
now
do that
this is where
tonight.
I am.
How
Yeah,
many
so
Stone Cold?
that's
How
perfect.
many Stone Cold beers tonight, Jimmy? 4.
I said 4, but I'm probably going to put another 4-pack in the fridge since Chicago's an hour behind, so I gain an hour by driving there tomorrow.
You're
so,
not lying though. The
no, I'm
math
not lying.
it does
So
add up, bro.
Yo,
the
then
math
we're gonna-
adds up. I don't check in till 3 o'clock. So
And we're gonna run
good.
chat, play some Call of Duty, so you got to put another 4-pack in the fridge.
Right,
think
at least
that-
another
that is
4-pack.
I
so-
think me and James need to start Ubering when we go out.
Exactly what I told you yesterday, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because Joe was being a little well, I can't say the word, but he was not being manly, and as far as his execution and drinking
I'm
goes.
sorry,
He had to
who
drive.
was the one driving?
I'm sorry that you're gullible.
Sorry that you're gullible.
Sorry that you're gullible.
We love you,
son of a
Gianni.
bitch.
Listen, Ethan, what do you think of the design of these things?
Tic Tac, sir.
Do I?
No, hold on. Because I got to clear shit up with you. I have to clear it up with you. I'm sorry, I love you, but you know I have to clear shit up with you.
Go for it, bro.
I'm not asking you about the etching. I'm not asking you about how deep shit is. You elitist son of a bitch. I am literally just asking you about the design of the cyclones.
No, this is actually my favorite WCW tag design. Second favorite would be the guy with the globe.
There was
The
two
guy
of
with
them.
the clothes. You mean the J-Mar?
The J-Mar, yeah. So, but no, the tag design's great. Love it. Love the 5-plater with the logo plate. Again, like when I get into my elitist, then we'll change the tune. But no, as far as the design
Piece of
goes, I think
shit.
it's phenomenal.
I did not know this belt existed. I didn't know. Joey, did you know that this belt was out by Figs?
No.
I didn't know. James, I came on it. I came
I bet you
upon
did, buddy.
Yeah, all over it. Like,
Right?
hold on, you gotta. Wow. All right.
He's
Do
like,
it, man.
he's like, hey
Oh,
James,
you son of a bitch!
yo, hey, it's
I
Pride
fucked
Month,
up
bro.
bad. That's all.
It's Pride Month, bro. Clip that. Somebody clip that.
I I fucked up bad.
I came all over it.
Listen.
Oh.
Yo, your troll Jay's gonna clip that, and it's gonna be everywhere, bro.
I came
Thank
on
you
it.
for the view and the interaction, baby. We appreciate it. Listen,
Oh.
the design is beautiful. I did not know that it existed. When I saw it on eBay, I said I have to grab it. I even asked the guy because the guy didn't. Again, I was talking with Casey about this earlier. A lot of people don't know the in and outs of stuff like we do, right? We're the idiots that are obsessed with this shit. So the guy didn't even put the back of the stamp Figures Inc. He didn't even put that on there on the picture. So I had to ask him. I said, "Hey, I need you to send me the back of what that belt looks like because that's how I know that it's official." He sent it to me. I said, "Fine." I did not know it existed, and I bought it. Oh. It had a buff signature, which again I thought decreased the value on it. But it was a decent belt. I sold it for way more than I paid for it. And there it is, the beautiful Figures Inc. stamp. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have to tell you, this is how you know your shit's authentic. However, Ethan will probably find it. I'll show it next month. There are makers out there that are putting this on the back, but they're like having the WWE logo and they're doing shit in the back. So we'll show you so you don't go buy that.
No, we're not gonna do that anymore because we're not gonna sit here and protect people and cuddle people into buying fucking trash because they don't want to listen, and then we get inboxed and we become dicks and assholes.
I stand corrected. So here it is, and then I'm gonna show you Buff's fucking signature. I'm Buff, and I'm the stuff. Bagwell. He signed it in 2020. You know something? I'm sorry, Buff. I think you're a great wrestler. I don't have any ill will. I can never do the things that you did. But I'm gonna be honest. When I got that card that said it was authentic that you signed it, I didn't even sell it with the belt. It's somewhere around here. I'll find it and send it to Ethan, so that he can have an authentic piece of wrestling memorabilia. There is the back. It's obviously bubbling. Ethan's belts are not going to do that. Ethan, why don't your belts bubble? Go ahead.
They're leather. They're not pleather. They're not vinyl. They don't have a cardboard and a slat in between the pleather. They're re-leathered by Romeo Anderson and AJ Giddings and Austin Watkins and all the good guys. But I'm going to lead his dick.
So you are.
You are.
And then I am going to go with the man who, I don't know, Joey, what's your relationship with Nawaz? Because it's always weird. You're always telling us that he has shit for sale. What's going on there?
Nawaz is the best.
Nawaz, I have great communication with Nawaz. Let me just put that out. I don't have to ask people like, hey, can you get in touch with Nawaz for me? And then say, hey, I have great communication with Nawaz. I'm not going to, fake that. But I do, I message Nawaz. He'll hit me back either like later on that day or the next day. And 2 of my belts that I bought from Nawaz were in stock. So I hit up, the worst thing you could do is hit up Nawaz and ask him what's in stock.
Joey, preface the in stock, what that means from Nawaz to other makers.
Nawaz?
You don't have to sugarcoat it. Just say ORM. Go ahead. Or compared to ORM, what is the?
Well, I never asked ORM what's in stock,
but
you guys have. But you guys have. Okay.
I'm sorry.
When you ask Nawaz what's in stock, what do you have in stock? Who will send you about like 20 to 30 pictures of belts? And he did that with me, and I said, yo, I'll take this belt. And he shipped it 2 days later.
On the same stock. On the same sheet.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the Nawaz sheet.
That blue sheet.
That blue sheet with the little flowers on it. Everybody knows that sheet.
Why does it have flowers on it?
Bro, it has little floral designs on it, bro.
Why?
That's just what it is.
I did that with Nawaz like the first time like I messaged Nawaz. I was like, yo, what do you have in stock? He's like, what are you looking for? I was like, oh, a gold scratch, Big Eagle with the all gold JMR99 logo plate. He's like, oh, I have that. A lot of people want the white scratch. I'm like, no, I want the gold scratch. He's like, oh, I got it in a box.
But in fairness, from what I've, and this is what I've been noticing lately. Like I've had a lot of conversations with like Ollie Honest, and he's the same way. He's been, hey, I got this in stock, I got this in polishing, I got this going. So he's been another one of these makers that's been very open with the process and how long it's going to take, and his process has been pretty quick. And another thing we were talking about with his Winged Eagle, the bars are welded and bolted.
Very nice. So you're not gonna.
So I'll tell you this with Nawaz, like some people have different communication. I can only talk about mine. But like when I ordered a belt from Nawaz, I said, how long will it take? He said 3 months. And it took 3 months from start to finish.
And that's all I am asking for. Ethan, I'm gonna ask you this question. Would you pay $350 for and be happy with it?
Absolutely.
Can I throw you a curveball?
Yes.
That belt's 2 years old.
Absolutely.
So imagine the progress he's made in 2 years' time. I have an IWGP V4 on order from him. He told me 3 months. I haven't gotten it. You want to know why? That's on me, and I'll tell you that here. Because a lot of people don't tell what they do on their part, right? Me, if I were to buy this belt, I'm gonna go figs all day long. Because there are belts that I'm saying I'm okay with either with figs. It for me, there's a difference in me being a collector and Ethan being a collector. Me, Figures Inc. If there's a belt that I go Figures Inc., I don't want anything else from it. I don't want to hold it. I don't want to do nothing because most of my belts sit back there and they display. If you were to tell me, Jay, you got to pick one, and I'll fuck with the segment now because that's normally towards the end when Casey comes back. I will always go figs with certain belts because number one, the value's there. Number one, I'm gonna get what I'm asking for and what I'm paying for it. But also, I'm not gonna have to worry about waiting for time frames and none of that stuff. Joey, you think 350 is good enough for this?
Who's the maker?
This is Nawaz, and remember, this is 2 years old.
So I will say this. So Stephen Hammer did a review of this Nawaz belt, and it looked phenomenal on his video. And yeah, I paid $350. Now, I did have this belt from a different maker. You know
what the fuck?
But I did.
What?
Hey, Nico ain't lying, bro.
It's right. He's not lying. When you
that
see the
sheet,
you know it's
I
legit.
dropped my AirPod.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull the sheet up right now because I have Nawaz on speed dial.
Oh my god.
That's like that baby making sheet.
Get it. Send it to me because I need to show this what you guys are talking about because I think people don't get what you're talking about. And I do have me personally. I do have to give credit to Andy Bolger, because he was the one 2 years ago. And this is dead ass. This is real. This is
I'll show
no
it.
bullshit. Go ahead,
PMJ.
Joey.
PMJ.
There's the sheet.
Hold on, no, Jay, you got the PM.
Hold on. So,
No, pull this up. You got the PM.
I got the PM.
Best
Hold on.
sheet
Let
in the
me
world.
go on Facebook and find the PM because I need people to understand what they're talking about. Because I've heard about this before, right? I've heard about the floral design and the flowers and shit. And I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, oh yeah, you got the floral design. Like, what are you talking about? And it's the background that he uses, right?
I think that's a trend we need to start with every maker, whether you're X-Men up to Classic Shields. Yo, you need to have your own particular in-stock sheet.
Yes.
So,
yes, for sure.
So that's what he shows you, like, right? Like when you're getting your belt and stuff, it's like, hey, when you see that sheet, baby, your belt's coming. You don't got to worry about anything, right?
Back.
So, bro, oh my god. Okay, as that comes through and it gets loaded, I do want to, if we don't get this stuff fixed, for Casey, I hope he can do a concert for us later on, a 2-minute concert. Let's see if that
Yeah, like a private show.
No, just put it on.
public.
Ethan send us what?
Well, I'm already under moisture control with Casey in the song, so
So
I-
you
I'm
need-
not wearing panties, so we're good.
Saying.
You guys are out of control because let me explain something to you guys. So I'm gonna share this. You guys see it?
No.
Not yet. We're
Nope.
still on
You
the
guys should be seeing
WCW
it, 'cause
tag.
okay.
We're still
So
on the tag.
let me put this up real quick so you guys can see it because this is, and it's gonna be very simple so you guys see. I'm just gonna drag it across, but this is what they're talking about.
Yes,
That
that's
is
the
the
back-
sheet.
So he uses this sheet in every single one of his belt photos, right? Like this is an official thing. I'm thinking JCPenney's, maybe Macy's.
Yo, I want to
but-
offer him like $50 for the sheet, just so I can have it in my
Dude,
collection.
I'm going to right now, actually.
That may be a thing. So I have to. I think from now on, makers should have their own sheet. And I know that's probably too much of me to be asking, but I think that they should have their own sheet. So,
I mean, I do have the belt right here.
and Joey has.
my
Let me,
belt.
hold on, Joey. I'm gonna
That's
put
my
you
belt.
on full screen.
Why?
So that people know what they're talking about.
Because
What
he's
you're
only
talking-
480.
Ching.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's my belt.
Um,
That's mine.
It is your belt.
And I gave him that hat too. I gave him the hat.
You did.
Wow. So,
He's a giving
hopefully,
lover.
we'll get the Casey situation taken care of. If not, I'm gonna have him sing his heart out at the end of the show. And before we go on, I do have to say, Mike Jones, my brother, don't take this because I know that you're gonna take this fucking personally when I say it. I'm not saying in the sense that it's not real towards the toll that these performers take. Wrestling is not real. You're taking this shit way too personal. Okay. I
Whoa.
had Vinny hit me up twice saying, well, you need to talk to Jones. Bro,
Well,
just come on the show, report what the fuck is going on, and we're gonna be okay. There is nothing else that you need to do. I don't understand why you're like boycotting the fucking show because people are laughing with Vince McMahon, mind you. So please just know I love you. Juneteenth was just a few days ago. They have freed us, my brother. They really have. So going back to the belt, the important things that we're talking about. Ethan,
Yes, sir.
I don't want to ask you this, but I'm going to. Etching all that jazz, hit me, King.
So with this Nawaz, right? So here's the thing: you can get away with on this belt. You can get away with a Nawaz 350 SD belt because the texture and everything like that hides a lot of the waviness of the plates if it was a lot of negative space. So this is
You're gonna
this is
get
one of
mad,
those.
but you're gonna get mad, but I learned that from Jeff Parthay. But keep going.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. He never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. So on this belt, you can get away with that kind of thing. But again, Nawaz also has very sensible HD prices. Very sensible. I think I paid $900 for a Winged Eagle, $950.
Standard
No HD.
HD is a myth, by the way. But yeah,
That's so let that. Oh, can I? I'm gonna go on a little tangent real quick. So
Here we
we,
fucking-
as
hold
a
on, hold on,
hobby.
Hold on. Go ahead. Go.
So I'm gonna make Dan and all these guys just really happy. We as a hobby need to stop getting into the HD SD thing. So HD is American standard. We need to stop calling it SD and HD. If you want an HD belt, you want an American standard etched belt. There's no HD, there's no anything like it. It's a made up term for the process of the belt and how it's made. You want American standard, that is an HD belt, what we call an HD belt. That's American standard.
Yeah.
Let's get out of SDHD.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yes, sir.
You're half white, so I don't understand why you're always so aggressive and angry about these things. Because
Because I'm half white, bro.
you're coming off very negative.
Because I don't have people, bro.
So here's the thing. I actually like this design once I got it and it was in my collection for a bit because it takes time, right? You get acquainted with your belt. The problem with us belt collectors, and I think everyone here can agree, is that we get excited for a belt. We're constantly, and if I am the only one, please say so. once I get that tracking number, literally I get the tracking number right now and I check it right now, seeing have y'all processed this shit yet? And then once I get the belt, I look at it, I take the pictures, I send them to the elitist, and then I slop it there and never touch. I only touch it once a week when I clean them because I clean my belts once a week. Casey will tell you, Ethan cleans his belts every fucking 3 days.
I'm once a week.
No, that's a fucking lie.
It's close. It's close.
So belts are a big different. It's a different thing. It's a really, you get it. A lot of people have different ways of interacting with the belts. Ethan has sex with his belt on. I don't touch it unless I have to clean it, and that's it. So there are different collectors out there. James Taylor, would you pay $350? Okay. Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah,
are we gonna go to that Undertaker thing?
I'm pretty sure we are. Yes, pretty sure.
So those we will be doing a documentary series, not documentary series, like a documentary kind of movie. Me and James, and we're gonna put it up on the channel of our trip to SummerSlam. And we will be having
all of it.
And we're the sex too. I packed condoms.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a lot of homosexual sex and James crying.
Hey, no, hold on.
What?
It's not gay.
James cries after he comes. I didn't want to tell anybody, but
that's not
what
true.
What is going on with this show, bro?
I'm just being truthful.
This is a family show.
Drink another Stone Cold.
Look at the chat. Casey put magnums, bro.
I want Jay to say
no.
I want Jay to say my hole.
Casey, you get the 5 rubber glove. You get the rubber glove. That's 5 condoms, bro.
No, for sure.
Ethan, stop. You're gonna get someone to make a mistake here and get pregnant. You know, kids watch this show. Don't listen to
I don't know.
Oh, hey. Speaking of that, shout out to my boy Shotgun Surgeon. He's a streamer. Matt, he just found out he's gonna be a father.
Very nice.
So
congratulations, bro.
He actually, funny story. We were making fun of him the other night. He actually knocked up a chick off of Plenty of Fish.
Oh my God, Jesus.
So shout out to you, bro. You are my boy.
So I want to go back to a comment before we get to the Reggie and before we get to Dan McMahon. Carnage Rage. Where is the comment? I am looking for it. Here it is. You son of a bitch. Apparently you and I are the only people who have ever not ever, but in this point in time requested a TNA Legends from Classic Shields. Next show, which is our pen. Stop. I've gotten updates from them. I know you probably have too, but I do have to say though, at least on my end, I don't care about time frames, and I tell them that. I say you do what the fuck you need to do. I'm not gonna. And that's why I don't complain about the time frames with Classic Shields, because I myself say to them, you fucking send me the boat when you I know you have orders. and orders and orders and orders and orders. You do your thing, bro. I literally am not missing belts. I've come to the point that I realized they're all the fucking same with just a little bit switching of the design and the paint and they're the fucking same. I really don't, so I do want to say that they're taking a while, but the updates I've gotten have been great. I hope that they get you your belt in time. And I don't know if they gave you a time frame. Please DM me on that because I'm curious to know, because I've never gotten an update from them. So this belt was designed by Reggie Parks, who unfortunately passed away this past October. Reggie gave us all the memories that we wanted. Reggie gave us the designs that kind of take us back, right? I'm not a guy who sits. I know that. Let me put myself in solo screen because I'm not going to speak for everyone on screen. So I'll speak to myself.
Speak for me, baby.
So I'll give you an example. One of my old friends that I miss at times very much, Michael Hollandchek. One of the things that he did was he one of the things he did was that he would sit down with his belt and watch the actual pay-per-view or the match that it took place and had the belts in. That was never a me thing, but I tried it like 2 weeks ago and I was like, holy shit, this is nice. And I just had the belt with me. But I think it's wonderful that he gave the memories that we have every time someone says, I want the Winged Eagle back, I want the Classic Intercontinental back, I want something that's always comes from Reggie, right? So Dan McMahon, the man himself, had these pictures up there. This is a Reggie Parks. And so here's the thing about Dan. Dan, I don't know how. Ethan, you tell me, you tell the people, how does he get his hands on these belts? I don't know if you know or Joey knows, because Joey talks to Dan more than anybody, I think.
I'm not entirely sure. I like to give Dan shit online, but you know, at the end of the day, Dan's a solid dude and comes across some of the belts that I wish I could fucking own. Mm-hmm. Like, I just wish I could own some of these belts. One day, I'll get there.
So, Ethan, I'm sorry that I have to hurt you this way, my dear brother. But I'm showing you a brand new belt that Dan had his paws on, right?
Yeah.
You ready for this? What I'm going to show you next?
What you got?
This is a Reggie Parks made, ring used, WCW tag team.
Beautiful.
It's beat to shit. Dan
it's beautiful. I don't think it's beat to shit. That is full of stories. That isn't beat to shit to me. That's full of stories.
Hey, and the story for the first time in Culture Shock show history, we're gonna have a little video to play. But that's the problem. I can't play the video because it's not gonna show the fucking sound. So
did you see what Vinny said? Share the audio.
Well, how do I share the audio, bro? Someone text me in the thing. I want to share the audio.
It's in the thing already.
Okay, hold on.
5:56 p.m. Vinny sent it.
Okay, so you tell me, Ethan, why this would be something, and I know that you would take into your collection, not just the ring. Well, I can't say that because it's the whole ring use thing that gives its authenticity and its rarity. Talk to me about how beat to shit this belt is.
I mean, you figure it's missing a side plate, it's missing the logo plate. I don't know if this belt had a tip. I'd imagine this belt had a tip to begin with. But I mean, again though, it's if you could jump at the chance to have, I'm not entirely sure how long these belts reign for, but I mean, just the stories behind it. The people that held this belt, like, dude, it's as iconic as you're gonna get almost. I mean,
right?
Look at Sting, Luger, Steiners, Harlem Heat,
out of there. Easy.
Harlem Heat, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Brian Pillman, all these dudes that held this belt, like, bro, you're talking some of the elite of the elite.
So what I'm gonna do is, because Casey has offered, we're gonna have that's how we're gonna end the show tonight. He's gonna sing for the masses.
I'll sing with him.
So because it's not gonna play, but I do want to tell you the story because it is a very interesting one. There is the coveted Reggie Parks stamp, which Spassky makers in Pakistan are replicating now, and you have to be very, very careful with that.
Or leather guys in Europe.
And leather guys in Europe. You can't. Listen. There has to be some fucking semblance of fucking decency, right? I am okay with Reggie Parks 2003 being on the plate. I am perfectly okay. Because fuck Rico. That's why Rico Man being listed on this belt, right? It says 2019 Rico Man. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. But It says Rico Man on it, right? I have an issue with people stamping fucking leather and because that's how you know. That's how you know who crafted that belt. When Dropkick Leather does their belt, you got that stamp. When Ace Hernandez has, his stamp, it's on there. Dave, Ron, all these makers, that's how you know. I think you may think I'm being overly dramatic, but that is what says this is who made that belt or this is who we leathered that belt, right? I think we are now toting a fucking very, very dangerous line. And you may say, well, Jay, that makes no sense. This is just belt collecting. Imagine paying $5,000 for a belt that you think is a Reggie Parks, and it was actually made over in Pakistan and someone put their stamp on it. Ethan Thompson, your thoughts?
Well, you look at somebody in Canada that had 4 showers, bought what, 1 or 2 fake Reggies?
Oh, Colin, Jesus.
Yeah, he bought 1 or 2 fake Reggies, and another thing is like, there's no. We can get into argue the semantics of the belts and the copyrights and all that kind of shit like that, but at some point there's got to be a little honor amongst thieves.
Correct.
Because we all understand that we're in a hobby that bootlegs, and that's what it is. But bro, let's put a little tactfulness behind it.
Right, because I think now it's not. I don't think anyone has ever go, okay, I have a classic Shields. I'm going to pass it off as a Reggie. That I don't. From the circles I've been in, dealing with you guys, dealing with other people that we deal with, you don't see people saying, "Hey, this is a Reggie Parks," right? That's not a thing that happens. However, this is dangerous fucking territory, right? Joey, what do you think about it?
About what?
About fucking people putting the fucking stamp on the fucking leather,
Okay.
Joseph.
Those are the chocolates talking. Don't worry about it.
What are we talking about right now? Shit.
I don't think nobody should put the Reggie. Now, I'm fine with them putting it in the plate. That's fine with me. But no leather guy should put Reggie Parks' stamp on the leather and try to pass it off as a Reggie Parks, or should a maker. It's false advertisement. I mean, and people do that just to scam people out of money. I mean, I want to know, like, are these people like that bright, or is it just ignorant?
So James, you answer Joey's question. What is it? Is it ignorance? Is someone just trying to fucking just pull over on people and trying to get some more money on something that's not worth what they're saying it's worth?
So I think if you're requesting something like a stamp of like a Reggie or whatever, you're already I feel like you're already trying to scheme and scam. Now, some people, I think they want to have, and there's even people in our circle, right, that they want to have the exact belt, down to a T of how it's cut and everything like that. And whether you want to say elitist, whatever the case may be, but people want to have the exact belt that they've seen on TV. So, and that includes a Reggie stamp. Now, if you're doing that non-maliciously, then that's one thing. But I think if you're requesting that stamp, you really don't need that Reggie stamp in order to make sure that you have the belt you need, because it all includes the plates, right? So, but I think if you're requesting a stamp like that, then you're going to, when you go to sell it, you're like, well, hey, it's got a Reggie stamp on it. It's the same thing. So let me try and do this. And that's a thinking in this community, not hobby, that people do and try to get away with. And that's the unfortunate thing is if for the people that want to have the exact belt, they want to have the exact replica down to the stamp and whatnot. And unfortunately, Reggie has passed away. They can't get that no longer. So I can understand why somebody would want that stamp on there so they could feel like they have the exact belt, but you don't need it. So anybody past that should never have that Reggie stamp, because Reggie's not the one doing the leather. You're dealing with a red leather. You're dealing with somebody else along the lines, and those stamps should be on there. But you can have, and just like Joey said, if it's on the plates, if it says Reggie Parks replica, whatever the case may be, you do your thing, right? We all know it's a boot. We all know it's not a Reggie.
But does that come with? Yeah, he is, bro. I'll take a word for Joey too, bro, because he doesn't know where he's at right now.
I'm right here.
Does that come?
I'm in my room.
Does that come with the hobby and its fake ego and fake machismo that fucking people try to proclaim? Because you buy a classic Shields, you buy a Orm or anything like that. People get in this mindset of my belt's better than yours, and I get accused of that shit all the time.
Why is that?
I-
But you don't
I-
do
All the
that.
time.
Show me.
I think it's
Go ahead, Joe.
I think it's like a dick measurement, to some people.
But why? That's my question is why?
Because they have nothing else better going on in their life, I'm guessing.
So some people. So let me put my perspective out there, right? Because people like they don't have certain things, right? So like when they go out and they buy a belt,
Girlfriends.
that is kind of their. Yeah, I didn't say it, you did. So, but people don't have they
Or
don't have like
boyfriends. It's
equity.
Pride
So,
Month.
so they go out. Right, it is Pride Month. So you go out and they invest in something, and if they invest in something expensive as a classic shield or anything along those lines, they don't have a lot of investment into anything else. So that's like their pride. It's like, hey, this is what I have to show for all my money and everything I spent for. So, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's a fucking wrestling belt.
That's
Right,
my,
but listen,
that's
dude,
my issue.
Look,
That's the thing, it
you
is a
guys know how I
wrestling
am
belt,
about my belts. You guys,
yeah,
you guys exactly know how.
Oh,
You guys call me the biggest snob on the fucking planet because all I have is classic shields and American. But, bro, it's a fucking wrestling belt at the end of the day. Like my wrestling belt doesn't make me any better than fucking anybody in this.
But that's fine. It doesn't make anybody better. But you gotta. That's the thing is that people feel like it's like when you buy a new car, right? Okay, if I go out and buy a Cadillac Escalade, people feel like they're in a certain status when they buy something. It doesn't matter and you could say it's apple to oranges. Okay, so in this community, within the hobby of collecting.
No, in this
somebody gets a
penitentiary.
classic shield. Well, if
it really is
Anyway.
a fucking penitentiary. Fucking people
penitentiary.
a prison of fucking people
It is.
that have these weird ideologies about themselves, whether they're dancing on a screen, cutting promos, or they're trying to validate their purchases of belts or action figures or whatever the fuck they're doing. This is
Right.
what it is. And you can't argue with them. You can't reason with them. You can't have a sensible conversation with them because there's so much fucking fake ego.
oh yeah,
And it's
for sure.
fake ego. That's the whole thing.
Well, but that's with anything though. So we could say it's this hobby. We could say it's nothing. We're right now. We're on Get the Strap. So we're talking about wrestling belts. We're talking about the wrestling community of collectors of belts and everything else. Right. It's like that no matter where you go. Right. Because people need to feel a sense of being a part of something, a sense of accomplishment. They need to feel like
Something
they've
that's
done
bigger
something.
than what they are in
So-
their normal day.
So for them, a lot of people have different things. So some people, they need connections. They need love. Some people have physical items because that's all they know from their families or parents, or they grew up without it. So that's where these people have that sense of ideology. And then they get to the internet because TikTok and all this, like, oh, let me go do, let me just like have fun, or let me, I'm going to go have fun. But my goal is to, hopefully maybe I'll make it popular and I'll make money and do all this stuff. So like you deal
That's
with all
correct.
these different people without the community, and that's their only outlet. Some people, they don't have human connections outside of the world, and that's where they come into community, and they're hoping for some sort of acceptance, and they feel like, hey, I got a classic shield, so maybe I'm part of their clique in the community. Because that, no matter what, you can attribute that to anything throughout life, is that people are always trying to get in where they can try and fit in,
No worries.
and they're trying to be a part of something. And that's what they're trying to do. And maybe they don't get the acceptance they want, and they're trying to do different things. So you can.
But
so
this
it's
message,
like that
I'm
no
sorry
matter
to
what,
interrupt,
though.
but this message right here is all facts. Because
No, that is facts.
Yeah, because
Nobody
he's
can
the
say it.
only heating and air conditioning guy I know that doesn't have air conditioning in his car.
No, really? BA.
The only one, BA.
Before I bring James, Casey to come back on here to ask him about which belt he'll take, I want to show you something. So before I do, Ethan, because you deal in the elitist market, what are we speaking facts or not? No, because I'm not going to say it on here, but what does Reggie passing away do to the market?
It overly inflate. So here's the thing, though. I've seen some atrocious, and I know it pisses people off, but I've seen some atrocious belts made by Reggie in the last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. atrocious leather, atrocious belts. So, but what it does, it artificially inflates the market for right now. I'm seeing Reggie belts go for fucking Winged Eagles go for like 10 grand. When you look at them, you're like, yo, that's like a $4,000 at the current market. You know, it's just it. Or I can go get a $1,300 CS and piss off some people.
But I think that's attributes to like the passing. Like when like, I'm gonna take Scott Hall for an example. You can get his autograph for like $20, $30, $50 maybe, you know, online. But when he passed, people are like selling it for like $100, $200, $300.
But in all actuality, we can sit here and say, Classic Shills in 2020 was making better belts than Reggie was making in 2020.
But
you're paying for the stamp.
But we do have to say though that
you're paying for the stamp.
It's one of the very best, you know.
You're paying for the name.
Think it's but it's the original maker, right?
That's why you're paying for the name.
I know that I'm paying.
There's no easy way to sugarcoat it. You're paying for the name, and I appreciate that and accept that. And if I had fucking 10 grand to waste, I would pay for the name.
Pay it. Yes, I would do the same.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't.
And speaking of that, I spoke to Dan earlier, and I was saying, hey Dan, listen, this video, and unfortunately I can't play it. We'll play it either Culture Shock Live or the following Get the Strap, because I really want you guys. Dan tells really good stories when it comes to, and these are factual stories. I'm not saying that he makes shit up. He tells really good stories when it comes to belts. These belts have, you know, character. They have a history behind them. And he tells a very good story with this belt. So we're going to put that on the next episode. But when I was talking to him, I said, hey, listen, I'm going to put this video up. Are you cool with that? Dan, as always, he's like, do what you need to do. He said, by the way, I have a Dave Milliken who still owes me my Winged Eagle, but beggars can be choosers. And he said, hey, I have this belt for sale. It is a Dave Milliken made WCW tag team. Reggie Parks edition, not J-Mar.
He doesn't take food stamps either, I asked.
He does not take food stamps, so you go over there with your shit. Here is the number 2 WWE licensed replica of the WCW Tag Team Championship. And it's a number 2. It's officially licensed. He is asking for $7,500 for it. That license is no longer. And for people and I've seen this a lot in Belt Talk, people laugh when other people post their belts up for sale and all that stuff. And I'm sorry to come off like a dick, but just say you're broke.
Yeah,
it takes zero effort. And honestly, in my opinion, it takes zero effort for you to be a decent human being. Just move on.
So in the past, I have commented on some belts that I seen that were being sold that were Reggie's, but the condition was so atrocious, not ring used or anything like that. They were just normal collectors. Mm-hmm. That I commented on, like, that just doesn't seem right. You're asking $10,000 for a belt that's beat to shit.
But do you take into consideration, Ethan, do you take into consideration time, right? Technology has moved years beyond what Reggie would have ever.
The belt was one of Reggie's more recent belts.
But that's part of the technology, though, don't you think? For it
to be that bad? Where I can get an Ollie Honest better than...
What I'm saying is that he's still using probably his way of making belts.
And this goes into the argument that Joey started one night about... you know, Reggie's etchers, and he had people etching for him. He had people plating for him. He might have been just stamping some leather, and you don't know how an elderly man like that was being used.
Correct.
For gain and profit.
By those in his circle, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to, before we get into the next segment, because it is when we decide which belt we will choose as host on the show, I'm going to bring Mr. Colefan93 back on. Bay, welcome back to the show. We are very, very happy that you are here with us. And go ahead and unmute yourself, King. Tell me because this is something that I always try to go to the person who is a guest on here. Which belt would you take out of the ones that we showed you for your collection? If you had the money, I said, you know what, you son of a bitch, here you go. Here's 15 grand. You do whatever it is that you please. What belt would you go for?
The Figs Inc. 100% Figs Inc.
Oh, you wild, bro.
Now tell me why Figs. Tell me why Figs. Is it
over the Reggie?
Okay, so he's got a point there. I probably would not pass up the opportunity to pick up a Reggie if I had the money and it were there. However, if that Reggie was not on the table, it's going to be Figs Inc.
Yeah, no, we're talking money's no option.
With the Reggie, I mean, you're getting the real deal right there. However, it not being the ring used, yeah, that sucks, but nevertheless, it's still made by the person that actually made the belt on TV. So, I mean, Figs, the collector part of me, if it was low end, but no, if you're actually sitting there handing me 15 grand saying, here you go, pick it, fucking Reggie, of course.
Is that Nick Carnival? Nick, cut the shit.
That's X-Men, bro.
X-Men.
Listen,
I had an X-Men WCW tag. It was the drizzling shits.
Ethan Thompson, go ahead. Which belt would you take if I gave you 15K?
Oh yeah, you're going Reggie all day long, but in a sensible world, you know, I'll take the Nawaz at, you know, in the realistic world.
Joey, what would you go for?
Now, are we talking the Reggie belt where it was missing the side plate and the...
Baby, I'm giving you 15K.
Okay.
And I'm saying you do what you need to do, King, because you deserve it.
I'm taking a Reggie. Why not?
All the way through. And
If
James,
money's no
go
option.
ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously,
I know what
money
James is
no
going to
option.
do. James is going to take a Figs, and then he's going to take the rest of the money and travel the fucking world for like 3 weeks. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Facts. No, absolutely facts. So obviously, like the Reggie would be the first choice, right? If it money no object, Reggie was clean, everything looked good on it, I'd take the Reggie, and then secondhand would probably be the Nawaz for me, just because I've had plenty of Nawazes. Ethan's got one that I've owned behind him. I like Nawaz, and I'd probably take him next up in the real world. And then I would travel with the rest of the money to go do whatever the hell I wanted then. Absolutely
Mr.
right.
fucking worldwide.
Says the guy that goes to 17 states a year. Shut your mouth. Buy a Reggie. And
I'll be in
move
Chicago
on.
tomorrow.
We'll be in Chicago tomorrow.
So obviously, collectors have their different, priorities of what they would want. Like me and Casey will take the Figs. Ethan, you'll do your thing. Joey does his thing. And James, we all have our different things that we have our priorities, right? What do you guys think of people saying, you know what? This hobby bullshit isn't worth it, because there is bullshit. If you stay in groups like the official groups, there's a lot. It sounds like there's a lot of bullshit, but there's not a lot of bullshit in the official groups. There really isn't.
No,
it's only the times, like Casey said, it's only when someone new comes in and says, "Hey, where can I get this?" and these assholes starts, and I'm more than happy to call them out and say, you wonder why there's so much toxicity in this fucking hobby when a fucker can't even ask a question. So, in keeping with that theme, what are your guys' thoughts of people just fucking walking away? And Casey, I'm gonna go to you first because you're closest to one of the nicest fucking people in this community. Who had, I think, the personification of what I would think was the perfect collection walking away. There's a lot of people saying, this ain't for me, I'm out. What are your thoughts on that?
So, I mean, right now the turnover rate in the hobby is absolute shit, especially with Rob walking. Like, it's got to be getting bad to make somebody of his caliber walk away. And
I would have never thought I would see it.
There was a point, even a couple days ago, I was ready to walk away. But thank God that nostalgia factor that we talked about earlier kicked in on my last unboxing. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm staying. Why the hell am I going to give this up? But no, the toxicity is out there. And the toxicity goes further than just people's attitudes and comments, forums, websites, whatever. You've also got the people that know that they have something, but they're gonna, I guess, price gouge way up there. Like, take example, Figs Inc. belts that you can now get on shop, like your U.S. spinners, your Raw, Ruthless Aggression tags, Smackdowns, Winged Eagles. I could go on and on. You've got people still asking far above a premium price, I guess you would call it, for a Figs Inc. belt, and it's running a lot of people, like myself and Rob Staniloff, Jamie Gilbert, out of that hobby. And you've got folks like us, 1990 Hardy 1, Max, that we want to get these officially licensed replicas, and especially if we're going for Figs, we don't want to sit there and go through all these bullshit hoops and hurdles trying to get that stuff. And I guess after a certain point of that, it'll make people want to either give up or walk away, whatever, because some people don't want to go the bootleg route, and that's going to be an easy way to go for some people. However, I guess in Rob's case, that stuff just starts to add up. He finally had enough, and he's out.
But do you feel? Let me ask a question to Casey. Do you feel like the recent WCW stuff hurts the Figs market?
So, I mean, I could say the same with any of those that they reproduced. It didn't necessarily hurt it. Granted, it did devalue them. However, the demand is still there. Like, people aren't just immediately up and shit.
Yeah, well, you figure like in 91 and 94, I can get a Figs 2mm for like $600, or I can go to shop for $225 and get a 4mm. So at some point, like, I know you'll keep the market with the WWF stuff, right?
Definitely.
But once you're past the WWF stuff, I feel like the market is just going to come back down. Is that something you worry about or anything? I don't know what your collection looks like. Totally.
That's honestly not something I worry about, whether or not the market for that kind of stuff is going to go up or down.
He's not selling his belts. Yeah.
Like, I am a strict Figs Inc. collector right now. I have nothing else for sale. Everything that's in the room right now is for keeps. And
you son of a bitch.
I'm kind of at a point now, like after I almost left the hobby a few days ago, kind of opened my eyes a little bit more. I am going to start branching back more into WWE shop, because I don't want to sit there and hunt down those Figs Inc. belts and wind up getting discouraged and wanting out of the hobby. Because, I mean, if I've got access to something officially licensed, I honestly could give two fucks whether or not it's got a Figs patch or a WWE shop patch. As long as I've got it and I like it, that market's not going to die for me, at least.
See,
go ahead, Ethan.
I said I don't know how it is for Casey, but I'm fortunate enough to have a tiny little network of people that, like, every time a belt comes on sale that they'll know I'm interested in, they just send me it. I'm just getting a PM, so like I don't even really have to be a part of the group.
Casey, Ethan is a vulture. He's not going to say that.
I really am.
Literally, this is the worst thing that he's ever done, and I want to tell people so people can know, because I love you, but other people take you the wrong way, and I'm like, no, he's fucking great. He's an acquired taste.
I am a very acquired taste, and I understand Casey, it. And
Casey, think about the difference here. The same person, and I'm saying this for the first time, Ethan doesn't know, hits Ethan up, and then it hits me up. I'm going to be honest with you. When you message me on Messenger, it's going to take a few fucking days. Ethan gets hit up, and I get up. Some guy saying, look, I'm tired of this stuff. People just bringing me down. I'm selling my belts. I saw that message and said, hold on. I'm going to say this because I know you're going to bullshit. I right away said, listen, I know this is tough. People tend to be shit, but this is your refuge from your daily life. Don't let someone else ruin your fun. You know what this fucker did?
I said, send me a list.
Yeah, he said, oh, that sucks. What are you selling?
Thanks, Derek.
Bro, there's a different fundamental difference here.
But here's the thing, I don't hide it.
Great encouragement.
I don't hide it. I don't there's nothing. I'm straightforward to a fault, and I understand that's a character flaw. Because people don't like it, especially in this hobby. People do not like just being a straight shooter. And that's cool, no problems. But if you're going to leave the hobby, I'm not going to talk you out of it or into it if you got a belt I want.
You see,
Sorry.
And that's vulture behavior. James Taylor, what do you think of this list that Nick put up?
Oh, no, I mean, it's a good list. It's pretty accurate, right? Just looking at the shop replica list. WCW US, the WWE US, those are all great because they've continued to get better. And the person who's in charge of it has more dedication.
How are you in the
towards
comments
trying
when
to
you
bring
refuse to come on? I don't
No,
understand.
yeah, he's that guy. He's toxic, bro. He's so
he's-
aggressive.
He's my boo thing.
So
That's
aggressive.
Mike Big T Jones.
So James, tell me what your thoughts about people just saying fucking and walking away, selling their shit and collecting. I mean, collecting the money and just moving on.
I don't see. So for me, I don't see nothing wrong with it, right? Because I mean, first off, it's like I've had anywhere from 40 to 50 belts, and I'm down to like 7 belts now. So, and I've taken that money and I've done other things with it because you can always come back and you can rebuy it now. But people like to be like, "Oh, I'm leaving the hobby." It's no, okay. The hobby, it's not the hobby that's toxic, because the hobby is buying wrestling belts that you like and you want to own. That's the hobby. The community is what's toxic. So you separate yourself from the community and you just go out and you look for the stuff you want to buy. Now, we know people are dicks, people are assholes. You don't have to be on those boards. There's plenty of different forums that you can go to. You can go to Macari, you can go to eBay, you can look for these different avenues. You can go directly to makers if you're on the bootleg tip. You don't have to be in these groups to be part of the hobby. You can leave the community of groups and you could still collect as a hobbyist. So people have a skewed. I feel like people have a skewed view of what the hobby and what a hobby is and what a community is, because that's what everybody refers to. Is you watch some other podcast or anybody else like, oh, well, the hobby. Let me tell you about the state of the hobby. No, the hobby is collecting. The community is a different perspective. So you change your verbiage. And that, I mean, because that annoys the hell out of me when I say people are talking about the hobby. No, the hobby is collecting. If your hobby is being in a group of people and watching them complain and seeing them post up belts, and your hobby is to be in a message board or a page, then that's your hobby, right? My hobby is collecting wrestling belts, whether it's Classic Shields, Nawaz, Figs Inks, Shop. That's my hobby. And what comes a part of that is the community that I've built as being part of, as being a collector, is meeting different people, branching out within the community of collectors and hobbyists, like, you know, the people I've met in this group. But you guys got to, like, people need to change their stuff and their factors, because it's annoying as shit. You guys are adults, know what it means. And thank you, John.
I'm fucking sorry. I can't.
And I'm so sorry to Casey that, like, he's not privy to the group message we were in.
No, he's
like,
not.
if you were in this group message, you would understand the level of degenerates that from Canada on down are it's hilarious.
Look at John, bro. So listen, I oh my god, we have to move on, because I keep trying to shorten this fucking show, and it keeps just fucking going over.
You skipped over me, you asshole.
Joey, no, I'm gonna ask you the first fucking question.
Joey's trying to figure out where he's at, bro.
Joey, yeah, Joey, stop bullshitting, because you don't have no idea. Joey, you tell me, J-Mart, was it you or was it Ethan that sent me that screenshot about the 1998 thing with J-Mart?
That was probably Joey.
What 99?
Okay. Let me, since you're like literally up there, Joseph, let me explain. There was someone who posted on a belt group that said that they have been waiting and paid in full for a J-Mar. I don't know what belt it was, but they paid in full in 1998.
Yes, and I offered him we offered him a cookie.
Oh,
we're like, yo,
did?
I put a cookie gif up. I put a cookie gif up because I was like, yo, you've been waiting a long time. I'm a fat dude. Yo, we got something in common. Cookie, here you go.
But bro, think about it. Think about how bad that is.
But
Think about how horrible that is. I know, but here's the thing that, Ethan, you have to understand. Not everyone in this hobby is like you. Not everyone in this hobby is like me. There are people who are fragile, who don't want confrontation, who don't want.
But here's the thing, though. This is where I separate myself from the guys that you're still in. I'm gonna get me a Winged Eagle booted because I tried to buy one legit and I've been waiting since 1998. And you have those guys that are still
8 years old.
Yeah, you have those guys that are still oh, that's still stealing property and intellectual property. Motherfucker, I tried to pay it the right way, and now I'm doing it the wrong way.
Hold on.
I'm sorry if the wrong way is the only way that delivers.
Yeah, Joey, go ahead.
Sorry, they're gullible.
The people, you know how you're saying like the guy was waiting since 1998 for that belt.
Okay, go ahead, Joey. I'm
All
sorry.
right, so you got some people in this community hobby, whatever you want to call it, shit show of a cesspool.
Penitentiary.
Yeah, you know, jail, reform school, whatever. They, you know, you got some people, certain people, that will say you're going to get your belt. If you buy from Milliken, you're going to get your belt. You've been waiting.
I've been in this hobby for 20 years. I know what I'm talking about.
You're going to get your belt. Like, I don't want to hear this. If you
belt
buy
is
a
mine.
car, if you buy a brand new car today, and they're like, yo, man, it's going to be like 15 years. And 15 years later, you're like, I'm going to get my car. I'm going to get my car.
Yeah.
But you can always go to Newman Ali and get a good quality belt, baby.
That's right, baby.
That's
James
true.
Taylor.
Or find a figs.
1998. I know it's just a stupid question, but is he going to get his belt?
From 1998?
I was 8, bro. I was obsessed with the Rugrats
Absolutely.
back then. I loved the Rugrats, by the
Absolutely.
way.
Yo, Rugrats was good.
Tommy
Facts.
Pickles.
Yeah.
Tommy and
Yo,
Chucky.
no cap.
Phil and
Yo,
Lil.
John was 4, bro. John don't even
I was
remember
11.
1998.
Dude,
You know what's
1998.
crazy?
I was a junior in high school.
I was 12. You know what's funny about John?
I
He's
was
the same
5,
height
11.
now as
You're
he
5?
was when he was 4 years old.
I was 5.
Jesus Christ. So,
I'm the elder
James,
of the group, bro. Respect your elders.
So you know, he's not gonna get his belt according to James. Casey, what do you think of fucking 1998 paying in full for a real belt, and it's 2022, the year of the wolf? I heard that's not true. I just made that up. But tell me, what do you think? 1998, since waiting for a damn belt.
Like somebody just said in the comments, they refused to wait a year. After that first year, I'd be asking for my fucking money back if I didn't have some kind of progress pics or something. Which, I mean, obviously back in 1998, how are you going to get pics other than send them in the mail? I didn't even know that they were taking orders for these things in 1998. So that kind of blows my mind. I wonder if that person's full of shit or not.
No,
But,
so this is the thing. Go back, Casey. I challenge you. Joey's probably too high to go ahead and back me up on this right now. But so I believe it was SummerSlam 1988 or 89.
88 was a good SummerSlam.
I think it was there's somebody in the fucking stands holding up an IC replica like a fucking Reggie.
That's a 1 millimeter replica that you could get
Is it?
from Reggie and Jamar back in the day.
In the
You
80s?
just literally solved the puzzle, bro.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Because I seen this, bro. I kept going back and forth. I was like, yo, how this motherfucker get this belt?
Isn't that
Rewind.
like when you see like boxing matches, like you see like a iPhone in 1996, like at a Tyson fight in the crowd, and people are like, "Yo, this was time traveler."
Yo, this dude's high, bro. He's talking about time travel.
No. That's the
he's-
thing on YouTube about the
Yo,
boxing thing.
get him off the screen. Get him off the screen.
No, that was the thing. Like you look on YouTube.
No,
People will
it really is, though.
Yeah.
It really is.
I've seen those stoner videos.
Go ahead, Joey. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Where is it at? On YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Like people will show like, oh, look at this futuristic camera or this like phone that wasn't a flip phone or one of those big ass phones. Back in like '96 at
The
boxing.
block, the brick.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just YouTube high as a kite, it comes right up first search.
So listen, we had more subjects, but obviously those things can wait till Culture Shock Live. I'm not gonna keep everyone else
That's
on here
easy
for
elitist.
a long time. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to remove these guys off screen in a second.
I wanted to
I'll
see
give
with
my-
Casey, bro.
Hold on. I am going to give my final
Thank you.
statement.
The person Eric is correct. Boom.
I am going to give my final thoughts, and then I'm going to put Casey on screen so he can, for the first time ever, I'm actually living my dream of having a talk show. They have a musical fucking performance live on. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Fuck it, the
Bro,
hell
you're,
with it.
you,
Fuck it,
you're
we'll do
just
it
like
live.
Ricky Lake, bro.
Chat tonight about to be lit. Yes, it is. Damn, yo, Ethan, set up a chat. Okay.
Well.
So,
Why?
gentlemen,
So you can leave after 5 minutes?
listen, man. I come in for the good
Yo,
times.
Jay comes
gather
in.
the people, and then I'm out.
Hey, if anybody wants to know what it's like to be in a chat with Jay, he comes in, camera's on for 3 seconds, camera's off, talks for 2 seconds, muted, gone 5 minutes later. That's the Jay chat.
Casey could tell you there's a whole life out here. So I have to go live that whole fucking life.
Bro, you're just getting Joey. That's all you're doing.
So I am going to thank you so much, Mr. Joseph Atanza, Ethan Thompson, James Taylor. You guys are always reliable, always on point with what you do, and I would be nothing without you. Casey, thank you so much. It's an honor for me to have you on here. Let me address the people, and then you are going to do your thing. Thank the crowd, and then I'll put the credits in. But thank you so much, gentlemen, and let me address the people. My word, what a show, what a show, what a show. Discussed a lot of things today. We just want you to be informed, right? I've paid a lot of money for belts, lost a lot of money, and then I didn't see that in the return, right? I get the belt, it wasn't up to par. Then when I try to resell the belt, it's like, nah, I'm not going to pay you that. And it sucks. And we don't want that to happen to anyone. But we are still going to stand with what I said in the beginning of the show. We're just going to show you the belts that we're comfortable with purchasing. Next week, Friday, Culture Shock will be live on Thursday, but on Friday, our new show, Summer Nights, it is only going to run through July and August, where we sit down and come and shoot the shit about our week, everything going on. No wrestling, no hobby, no none of that. You're going to get to see us as who we really are. Because if you did not know, we play characters on this show. This is not who we really are. So I mean, again, I always say this. I have a suit and a fucking tie with wrestling belts behind me, and I'm acting like, oh, this is professional talking about wrestling belts, right? I changed the way I talk because I want to sound, like I professional and come across as someone that you can, and with your own thought process, with the way that you see the show, you will understand that what we're telling you is actual factual information, and we're not trying to blow smoke up your ass. We want to make sure that you get the money, get the product that you spent the money on, that you were asking for, and that's why we do this show, because we want people to be educated. If people were honest, we wouldn't be doing this show. We were doing something completely fucking different. And Mike Jones has been on my ass about that, and we will be talking Dragon Ball Z. We will be talking Game of Thrones. We will be coming because, again, it's a culture, and we're trying to shock it, right? Thank you so much for being on tonight. I really do appreciate it. I am nothing without you, the fans who watch. No, not fans, the audience, because a lot of the people that are watching are my friends. And I do appreciate the fact that you see me more than what I see in myself. And I do appreciate that. And I have always been told that I am a self-proclaimed genius and a self-proclaimed badass. I've never been that. What you see here is because my friends who come on this panel with me, Vinny Vegas and Mike Jones, Ethan Thompson, Joy Vitanza, everyone else who's come on here, James Taylor, Andy Bolger, everyone that I've ever had come on here has made this show what it is. It's not me. I am learning here with you. I honestly have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But everyone else on here, I trust to give you the factual information that you need to make a right decision about how to spend your money. Thank you so, so much for being on tonight with us. Next month will be our penultimate episode, which means that in August, it will be our season finale. We will be talking next month the WWF Block Tag Team Championship, Reggie Parks, obviously, dual-plated, beautiful belt. And I can't wait for that episode. So thank you so much. You humble me with your presence. And I give you the man himself, Cofan 93, to give you a wonderful, wonderful performance of his hit song, Out of My Mind. Take care and let him do his thing. Baby.
All right, we're going acoustic, so this is a little different, but first times are, well, for everything. So here we go. This is Out of My Mind. inside you can tell that I'm tired as hell. But in her mind she's very analytical. 6 strings and lace and heart is racing, get me out of the cell. That's why I'm out of my mind. 'Cause you created space between us and it's alright. She made me lose my mind. You do it all the time. So far along and I know we put it through it all. No restoration, now I'm chasing a new kind of expense. But it's a fact, she is something simply beautiful. No Maxwell, give me hell, now I'm burning in head. She thought she'd bring me down, now I'm out of my mind. 'Cause you created space between us and it's alright. She made me lose my mind. You do it all, I know that I can't do it well. I'm out of my mind. 'Cause you created space between us and it's alright. You made me lose my mind, yeah, you do, I'm out of my mind. 'Cause you created space between us and it's alright. She made me lose my mind, my God, you do it all the time. All the time. And now I'm out of my